recently seen some other ASMR artists participating. Rage ASMR and Grace V do really excellent telling you secrets whisper videos. So I'm going to give it a shot today. And if you're not familiar with them, the idea, it's pretty simple. I'm going to talk, probably tell you a story, and interject by telling you some secrets. Now, I can't say they'll be the juiciest, but they will be true. And I think it's going to be fun, and hopefully it will give you lots of tingles, 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 and help you relax and maybe fall asleep. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, I'm going to share some details from a very eventful day I had a few weeks ago. And that's where you're going to get all of this hot tea that I have to share. Even though, like I said, it's not super piping hot, but hopefully interesting and relaxing nonetheless. So, let's get started. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more content like this, and just so we can stay connected as time goes on. Let's get started. So, a few weeks ago, I was planning a socially distant, safe day trip with two of my friends who I hadn't seen in quite some time. Now, like I said, it was going to be a safe trip simply because of everything that's been going on with COVID. I'm not a risk taker when it comes to stuff like this with health. So the idea was that we would plan a day where we could spend a lot of time outside, away from other people, and be very strategic about the activities we picked. And of course, we would get tested beforehand, just to make sure that the three of us would be safe to see one another. Because even though we would be outside, there are of course elements where you're just close to one another, and just best to be safe and be sure that you have a test that says you are negative. So that's what we did. They had access to rapid tests, which was even better because I just think that's better. You can get it closer to the day you're actually going to see the person. So anyways, this story really begins with me driving the night before to get a little bit closer to our meeting point the next day. And as I was on my drive, reflecting and just trying to keep myself excited because I was going to see two of my friends who I hadn't seen in so long. And one of them called me when I was in the car about 45 minutes away from my destination. And you know what he told me? You're not gonna believe what he told me. Come here, I have to tell you. But you can't tell anyone, it's crazy. He called me to tell me that he could no longer hang out because he had tested positive for COVID. He tested positive for COVID. And we could no longer hang out the next day. I know. Now, I was the most worried about him because he is a first responder. He is an EMT and a firefighter, and he's around a lot of people, many of which have contracted COVID, but he's always wearing PPE and protective gear, so we thought it would be fine. But again, that's why we got the tests, right? So after I'm in the car for, I don't know, almost 5.5 hours, I get this call. And of course, I'm nervous, but it was so strange because he was like, I don't think it's real. I'm gonna get retested because I think it was a false positive, which ended up being true, but at the time we didn't know that, and we weren't going to risk it, obviously. But now I can walk through this story and be okay because he was fine. It was all fine, but at the time it was quite alarming to find out. Quite alarming. And so last minute too, I'm glad we found out before anything happened and we got together and what have you. But regardless, then there were two. Just me and my other we started to get used to it and did a much better job towards the end. However, we didn't find all of them. The kids definitely did a lot better than we did. And on top of it, on top of all of it, come here, we got lost multiple times. Really, really poor show on our part. was nice. But the wines weren't that good, so then we left and we went to the second vineyard. But like I said, I definitely was a little on the tipsy side, so my friend had to drive us to the next place. But don't worry, he was okay. He was okay. I was just the one who was an issue. So he was safe to drive, and he would never drive us if he wasn't okay to do so. So we go to the next vineyard, and this one was way better. Way better. But you'll get a kick out of this, okay? So they closed at like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that, and we got there at 5. We walk in the door, and we ask for a wine tasting at 5:02 p.m. And you will never guess what the bartender told us when we asked for a wine tasting. This is what he said. Come here. He said, "We stopped our tastings at 5 o'clock, so we can't offer you one." We were 2 minutes late. I know. But he was actually very kind. And I think because we weren't annoyed about it, we were just like, oh, okay, we'll just buy a bottle of something. He was very sweet, and he's just like, okay, well, what do you guys like? I'll just pour some samples for you. It was literally a wine tasting anyway. But he let us pick what we wanted, and he didn't charge us. It was really nice. And so we liked literally every wine he gave us to sample, which again was not good for me because, like I said, it doesn't take a lot. But we bought like 3 or 4 bottles of wine and some, and then a few glasses of wine. We didn't have it all at once, just we wanted to take stuff home because we really liked everything we had. And another really cool thing about this vineyard, I can't believe I didn't start with this, I have to tell you. Okay, come here, let me whisper in your ear. Can't tell anybody though. Actually, no, you can tell people. This is a good thing to know. This vineyard was not only all vegan, which I never really thought about, but I guess it's true. Wines can not be vegan. It was also run solely on solar panels. All renewable energy. How cool is that? So not only was the wine excellent, but it was a really nice setup overall. So I was happy about that. And then we sat outside, drank our wine, and at this point it's like sunset. And somebody comes over to us and says, "Hey, just so you know, there's gonna be a drag show starting in an hour." And we were like, "What?" What? I just have to tell you, I can't describe the vibe of this place, but never in a million years would I would have expected to see a drag show happen there. It just did not seem like the vibe at all. But we were like, hell yeah. But here's the thing. You had to pay for tickets. I know. And we're like, okay, we'll buy a ticket. And we looked to see how much they are. And they were like $50. $50. So we were like, no, we're not doing that. And we're like thinking we'll just stay here until we get kicked out. Whatever. But the thing is, here's another secret. This you can't tell anybody because it could get me into some trouble. No one ever came to check on us after that. And we never bought a ticket. So we snuck into this show and didn't pay for it, and it was supposed to be $50. I loved it. I thought that was so much fun. confession than anything. I didn't find the movie scary at all. I had seen it when I was younger, and I think I thought it was scary back then, but not so much today now that I'm 25 years old. But I can admire the craft of it, you know, the found footage sort of vibe. And plus it was a movie from like 94, the year I was born. Or close to it, I think, in the 90s. So it was good, it was worth the experience, just not very spooky. And then another embarrassing thing happened. It happened not once but twice. Not once but twice. My friend was resting his knees on my wheel, my steering wheel, and twice his knee slipped and let out the craziest horn honk ever. It was so long and loud and so embarrassing, and he did it not once but twice. And that movie is so quiet too. Half of the movie is like you can hardly hear people talking. It's the scariest part, to be honest, thinking that people would get angry at us for laying on the horn multiple times. Crazy. So anyways, that was our fun-filled day. It was really good. After the movie ended, we listened to music